Hi, this is WEBJ News Variety Edition, where we aim to introduce you to something new. Coming to you from our studio in the heart of downtown Boston, I'm Shivani Kijada.
From Boston, this is WEBJ News.
Up ahead, we explore cultural celebrations from Black History Month to international holidays in Boston. And we introduce you to a gay DJ in the underground club scene that is dominating queer life in Boston. I'm once again Shivani Kijada, here to give you this week's top stories and to invite you to join one of our reporters at Boston's most heartwarming charity event. Let's get started. As gas prices skyrocket and the world is on an energy crunch, we turn our attention to the biggest contributor to your fuel prices going up: climate change. The release of the conclusion to a UN intergovernmental panel on climate change ensures that we are nearing an increasingly warmer planet. The third installment reported that our planet is on the fast track to a climate disaster. The report found that the world only has a 38% chance of achieving the Paris Agreement's attempt to limit warming to 1.5 degrees, is quickly approaching to a 3-degree warming threshold that would destroy 70% of marine life. The report also showing the world is rapidly approaching crossing that small threshold, suggesting leaders take immediate action against fossil fuels, favoring alternative energy solutions such as solar and wind power. We now turn our attention to a leader who has attempted to make rapid change. Ketanji Brown Jackson's confirmation has immediately changed the entire face of the highest court of law in the United States with her historic nomination to serve on the Supreme Court. Jackson's confirmation makes her the first Black woman to sit on the court, challenging the long history of confirming white male judges for a lifetime. Following an often tense and joyous series of hearings, Jackson's nomination was deadlocked in the Senate Judiciary Committee vote, ushering the decision to the Senate floor to be decided and later confirmed, making history. As battles brew on national levels, our reporter Ezekiel Telemaco was on the scene to capture a Boston charity's battle to raise money for cancer research. We go to Ezekiel Telemaco now. Zeke?
Right now we're at the Boston Children's Hospital in Quincy. As you can see behind me, people are getting their head shaved for a bigger cause. For every head that's shaved, that's $5,000 donated, and there's a line. It's going all the way outside for people that are coming for a bigger cause. Over $5 million so far has been donated just alone today. Mac Jones, David Andrews, and Governor Charlie Baker are some of the notable people that showed up to get their head shaved.
I want to thank everybody at Granite for year after year showing up, getting cut, and making big donations and contributions to organizations that really matter in saving lives of people here in the Commonwealth and around the world.
Last year, this event was virtual with participants cutting their hair via Zoom. This year, over 770 people registered to get their hair cut in person.
I love being here. This is my 5th or 6th time doing this event, and just having the chance to be able to do something so easy, like give a little bit of time and a little bit of our hair, to make such a big difference for other people out there that are struggling. It's hard to put it in words how good it makes you feel when you're able to participate.
The Granite Telecommunications Company is responsible for planning and fundraising this event. According to their CEO, Rob Hale, everything that happened today was unpredictable.
But honestly, we didn't know what to expect this year, so more than $5 million is wonderful. And it's, coming from unscheduled, it's scheduled in 6 days, and then having a whole bunch of teammates join and come into this setting where many folks are still working from home, it was spectacular.
The millions raised will be used to pay for pediatric treatments at Boston Children's Hospital. According to Granite, $50 million has been spent over the past 9 years to help children pay for treatment.
It's great to see people come together, haircut by haircut. I'm Ezekiel Telemaco. This is WEBJ News.
Thanks, Zeke. You may have missed this annual charity event, but if interested in donating your hair and leaving with a fresh new look, you can check out the Children with Hair Loss website that is running beneath me to join Boston Children's Hospital's fight. Upcoming, our reporter team dedicates our next portion of stories to exploring spaces where we can all feel a little less alone. But before our commercial break, I encourage you to stick around to meet Brian Halligan, a gay DJ pioneering the underground queer scene in Boston, as more and more LGBTQ+ spaces are disappearing. Here's what we talked about. Check it out. Queer spaces come and go. That can be said for the former popular gay club, The Machine, and entertainment venue Milky Way in Jamaica Plain. Brian Halligan, a DJ at both of these venues, has been all around Boston.
I'm probably the second generation of Boston DJs. I came up after the original 70s, 80s DJs. I came out late 89, 90.
But in its place, new scenes have come up.
There's a whole second scene that is much less about mainstream pop music and mainstream drag, and it's really about mostly the music.
Once-a-month events open up new spaces for the queer community to come together.
So there are a lot of events happening that are not in gay bars, strictly speaking. They just sell really well at other venues.
The next generation is now shaping the scene.
So the spaces now are more often being held by DJs and performers and drag performers who and audiences who are non-binary, non-gender conforming, trans, so they feel more comfortable.
Inviting new people onto the dance floor.
So it includes a lot of house music and sometimes some disco and techno and break beats and stuff like that.
From WEBJ News, I'm Shivani Kijada, reporting from Boston. When we come back, our reporter team looks at a Black-owned restaurant where everyone knows your name. And one correspondent sat down with the founder of a club turning strangers into friends. Stay tuned.
Do you love sports? Then you should know about STEM. Because maximizing nutrition, analyzing peak muscle performance, calculating the perfect shot, and more are all made possible by science, technology, engineering, and math. In fact, there are more careers than ever in sports science. So if you have a passion for sports, then think about getting involved in STEM and improve everyone's game on and off the field. Get inspired at shecanstem.com.
It's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/therightseat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
So, I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Welcome back to WEBJ News Variety Edition, where we have hopefully already started to show you unknown events, places, and stories to check out and spice up local life. I'm Shivani Kijada, back at it, too, if we haven't yet already, to show you some gathering spaces for everyone. If in Boston, you'll find Daryl's Corner Kitchen, a Black-owned restaurant becoming a comfort spot for its customers. Reporter Hannah Hill sat down with some folks.
With Black History Month in full swing, State Representative China Tyler and the Boston Black Hospitality Coalition ended up creating the Boston Black Restaurant Challenge. The challenge is encouraging locals to visit at least 4 Black-owned restaurants throughout the month of February. One of the restaurants on that list is Daryl's Corner Bar and Kitchen, which is located right here in the South End. Owner Nia Grace took over the restaurant back in 2018. Grace explained what it means to have her restaurant included in the challenge.
What it really means is that I represent the diversity and the culture and the richness of the city of Boston.
Ann Hamilton has been a customer at Daryl's for the past 25 years. She explained why she believes Daryl's should win the challenge.
I've been going to this place forever, and they keep trying to reinvent themselves, come up with new and creative marketing ideas, so they're doing great.
Owner Nia Grace spoke about Daryl's being considered a safe spot for all customers.
Most people want to go where somebody knows their name or where they feel comfortable. And at the end of the day, we are a business that helps to identify with over 50% of the city of Boston. Over 50% of the population is African American. And at the end of the day, we have less than 50% of our businesses that identify as such. So Daryl's Corner Bar and Kitchen, the Underground Cafe and Lounge, we are businesses that are part of the minority of the representation that help to, in fact, make the majority feel comfortable.
The challenge was created back in 2018. This is the first time Daryl's has been included in the challenge. The challenge is encouraging locals to support these businesses at least once per week throughout February. There are over 70 restaurants that you can choose from within the city of Boston. For more details on what restaurants are within the challenge, visit bostonblackrestaurants.com. BJ News, I'm Hannah Hill.
Hungry for more inclusive spaces? Our reporter Jennifer Jiang looks at how one college in the heart of downtown Boston is honoring international celebrations all year long. Check it out.
In addition to being famous for producing journalists and filmmakers, this college in downtown Boston is also known for its diversity. Emerson College achieved a college factor diversity rank of 169 out of more than 3,005 total schools in the state, which its overall diversity is in the top 5% on the list. With the aim of creating a diverse and inclusive environment for greeting people from different cultures and backgrounds, the academic department's updated diversity action plan to promote the diversity and inclusion in the areas such as curriculum, hiring, and student recruitment. Besides the academic field, the Intercultural Student Affairs at Emerson College also pays attention to diverse lifestyle in the Emerson community, by creating an atmosphere where different gender, ethnic, and racial viewpoints are disseminated, understood, and respected. One of the major jobs the Intercultural Student Affairs do to promote the diversity is to explore and celebrate domestic and international racial, ethnic, and religious holidays and celebrations. February 21st is International Mother Language Day. The Office of International and Intercultural Student Affairs hosts a series of events to celebrate and promote linguistic and cultural diversity at Emerson.
We're encouraging everyone to write how to say hello in their languages and just to take pride in the language that they speak. And so we can have also an exchange where people can learn how to say hello in other languages.
This February is also the Black History Month and Chinese New Year, and the Intercultural Student Affairs held a series of cultural organizational meetings and prepared a New Year decoration event, special menu at Dining Center, and New Year performance show to promote these two cultures in Emerson community.
So Emerson provides us lots of different opportunities to immerse with different cultures. It's really a blessing for an international student.
Reporting for WEBJ News, I'm Jennifer Jiang.
For viewers not local to Boston or maintaining an at-home lifestyle and not sure where to begin to venture out, what if I told you there was a traveling club dedicated to introducing you to your next friend? Our entertainment correspondent Drew Ascione sat down with the female founder, changing the face of friendship.
Have you ever had a friend breakup? Did that moment go viral on the internet? Well, when that happened to Marissa Mize, she got creative.
Mize went from an average New York City girl to appearing on the Drew Barrymore show after a viral TikTok revealed her friends intentionally excluding her from an event.
Marissa, please listen up. I just walked by your friends and I need to tell you that the weekend you're away is not the only time that they could do their birthday party. They are choosing to do it the weekend you're away, and you need to know.
Mize immediately took to TikTok following the viral initial post.
This is about me, besties, I'm gonna need some new friends.
Everyone's had a friend that's talked behind their back. Everyone's had, been left out of something. And that was something that every single person on the internet could relate to, and if you couldn't relate to it, you're lying.
Mize created the No More Lonely Friends Club on TikTok, a space solely dedicated to turning strangers into friends that soon translated into real life, with over 30 in-person meetups of followers converging to simply make friends.
Friends is kind of that icebreaker middleman between like a school and a friendship, because you're all in the same place, but you have something in common, and it's caring about others or wanting to make friends.
Finding a solution to the age-old problem and struggle to making friends as adults, Mize has committed the No More Lonely Friends Club to another goal.
The whole thing of this being together is you're not alone, so it's very relatable, and everyone kind of opened up to it, I feel like.
Reporting for WEBJ News, I'm Drew Ascione.
Lots to look forward to cultural celebrations that are not only happening at Boston College, but in everyone's homes. When we come back, it's lights, camera, action as we dive into representation in Tinseltown in a new way. Keep watching, folks. You won't want to miss it.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham, bam, minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
Welcome back to WEBJ News Variety Edition. For those who are just tuning in, we've had a crazy start to the half hour from our reporter team diving into queer scenes, a Black restaurant, and global celebrations at a downtown college. Now we arrive to our entertainment portion of the show. If you tuned into the Screen Actors Guild Awards, you had a front row seat to Hollywood's history being made. The 2022 SAG Awards had its memorable moments, from Michael Keaton scrambling to the stage after being delayed in the men's bathroom to a mini Hamilton reunion in the opening monologue. But probably the most memorable moment of the movie is the movie Coda becoming the first film that featured an authentic deaf cast to win Best Film Ensemble. To understand the magnitude of Coda's SAG and the inevitable Oscar win, we revisit a past segment by Drew Ascione for a look back at the long history of misrepresentation of disabilities in the film industry.
The film industry has a long history of representing disabled bodies in tropes of the super crip, a character who's gained an exceptional power from being disabled. Inspiration porn, where a character with a disability overcomes that disability, or are often presented as the deformed monster with a physical otherness that haunts your dreams.
When you think about like villains or monsters in horror movies, historically, they've almost always had physical disabilities of some kind. So they've, had a scar or a hook for a hand.
Professor and expert on disability representation in the media, Nancy Allen, expands further on these forms of representation.
Like you're either the evil villain who's out to take revenge on the world, or you're this saint-like character. You're almost childlike in your innocence. Think Forrest Gump, Tiny Tim. And your story is really there to prove to everybody else how great they've got it. With the super crip motif or stereotype, the idea is that the gift that you're being given erases your disability and makes it okay. So while he still can't necessarily read and needs to use Braille, all of a sudden he has like crazy echolocation that allows him to like jump off, you know, to like see where everybody is and to do martial arts at a level that is superhuman. It erases his blindness.
The long history of improper representation in telling disabled stories on screen makes moments like Coda truly shine, but while the spotlight lasts, the industry must begin to reckon with the dangers of their failure to cast and present own voices in film.
We teach young children to fear disability. So there's sort of that situation where people are literally uncomfortable, and it's one of our collective greatest fears, becoming disabled. The other side of it is that inspiration porn that, you know, don't you have it so good? And what comes with that is, you know, people will walk up to random disabled people on the street and just say, "You're so brave." And it's like, what? In both cases, we don't see the person as a human, right? We see them as an object of some kind. And so it's an object of inspiration. It's there to make us feel good, or it's an object to be scared of, or an object of ridicule, you know.
The consequences of falling into these stereotypes all lead Alan back to the suspicion of the real reason behind the misrepresentation on screen.
I think there's also a discomfort that average people have about disability that they don't have with some of the other identities, because at any one point in time, any one of us could become disabled.
Coda hit screens with an authentic own voices portrayal of a deaf family with leading deaf actors Troy Kotzer and Marilee Matlin, who became the first deaf actor to win an Academy Award in 1995. Coda hopefully begins to push back on the film industry's legacy of awarding able-bodied actors for playing disabled roles.
It's a sure win.
Coda turned that tradition on its head. As we know, the cast won the Ensemble Cast Award, but supporting actor Troy Kotzer also became the first ever deaf actor to win a SAG Award for his role in the major motion picture. Coda opens a new age of filmmaking centering disabled actors in disabled roles that no longer misrepresent their stories. In the Sundance 2022 film festivals, audiences could watch more shorts, films, and documentaries from disabled filmmakers featuring disabled stories, from standouts such as I Didn't See You There, which involves a visibly disabled person when a circus comes to town, to Short Stick, which examines caring for an intellectually disabled individual. The industry is changing. Coda adds to a short list of films paving the way for authentic representation of disabilities on the screen. For WEBJ News, I'm Drew Ascione. Back to you at the desk. Thanks, Drew. Moving away from entertainment, after the break, I'll hand over the show to sports reporters, breaking down all the news happening in women's sports, coming up after the break.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, "Read your lease. No pets allowed." My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
You can achieve a lot using your imagination. I mean, I don't like to brag, but... Wait, who's that? And why is she all over these achievement awards? But with STEM, the sky's the limit. Shaboom! Use STEM to envision... Okay, I'm seeing it. Yeah. Invent...
Got any ideas?
I've got a few, actually. And create a better world.
Told you she's super smart.
If she can STEM, so can you. Find out more at She Can STEM.
Honorary Forest Ranger Betty White here, lending a hand to my dear friend Smokey Bear, because for 75 years, he's only said,
"Only you can prevent wildfires."
But there's a lot more to say. Like, if you park your car on tall, dry grass, the hot exhaust pipe can start a wildfire. So keep the animals safe, especially the cute shirtless one. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to theshelterpetproject.org and meet if you are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to theshelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Welcome back to WEBJ News Variety Edition. I'm Shivani Kijada, and thank you so much for watching so far. Sadly, it is time for me to say goodbye as I turn our last segment over to our sports reporters to give you updates on women's sports. Gentlemen?
Thanks, Shivani. Welcome to our quick sports look. I'm Ezekiel Telemaco.
And I'm Michael Lagerwell with an update on women in sports. The University of South Carolina women's basketball coach Dawn Staley became the first black head coach in D1 history to win multiple national championships. South Carolina defeated UConn 64-49 to earn their second title in 5 years. During the regular season, Staley coached the Gamecocks to a 32-1 record. They were ranked the top-ranked team all year. This led to Staley winning the Naismith Women's College Coach of the Year award, and Staley has been at South Carolina since 2008 and won 5 SEC championships, 5 SEC Coach of the Year awards, and been to the Final Four 3 times. At this rate, it seems Dawn Staley will also be the first black D1 head coach to win 3 championships as well.
The 2022 WNBA draft made some noise last night in New York City. Ryan Howard of Kentucky was the first overall pick and will be playing for the Atlanta Dream. Speaking of first overall picks, here's an update from Michael on Brittany Griner.
Star center Brittany Griner has been detained in a Russian prison since February. She was arrested after customs officials found vapes containing hashish oil in her luggage. Griner's next scheduled court appearance is on May 19th, where Russian officials will formally press charges. WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert is preaching a message of patience as this process continues.
We're following the advice. There's not a day that goes by that we're not talking to someone who has views on what we've been doing and how we're moving forward.
As for Griner's teammates, it is much harder for them to be patient. The Phoenix Mercury are starting training camp for the upcoming season, and Griner is on the forefront of their minds. Mercury guard Sophie Cunningham said no one wants to be in her position. We miss her like crazy.
Wimbledon bans players from Russia and Belarus as the Ukraine war rages on. The last time Wimbledon banned athletes from countries was during World War II. Germany and Japan were among the countries not allowed to compete. This ban affects 5 Russian women that were in the top 40. Azarena Selabenka was in the semifinals last year and won't be able to compete this year. She was pre-ranked 4th in the tournament. Victoria Azarenka was also one of the 5 women who can't compete. Azarenka at one point was ranked number 1. It is unclear as to when these athletes will be able to participate, but then again, they'll just have to watch through the TV like the rest of us.
On April 12th, Alyssa Nakin became the first female coach to make an on-field appearance during an MLB game. In the 3rd inning of a San Francisco Giants baseball game, Nakin stepped in to coach first base after Antone Richardson had been ejected. This is the 2nd time Nakin has made Major League history, as in 2020 she became the first full-time female assistant coach.
A college that is dominating in women's sports is Oklahoma. Recently, the former softball champs led in college softball with a near-perfect record of 39-1, while their rivals Florida State ranks number 4. Maintaining their winning streak, Oklahoma recently just won the NCAA Gymnastics Championship, beating out Florida once again.
June 23, 2022 will mark the 50th anniversary of Title IX becoming law. When the law was implemented in 1972, only 30,000 women were playing collegiate sports. Now in 2022, there are over 200,000, accounting for 44% of all NCAA athletes. Tennis legend Billie Jean King said Title IX is about more than just women's sports, though. It's also about women's education.
It's really an educational amendment. Because sports is so visible, most people think it's sports. But what it was really about is for the first time, they broke down the quotas.
You can celebrate Title IX's anniversary by going to the NCAA Hall of Champions, where they recently unveiled a new Title IX exhibit. Well, Ezekiel, it looks like we'll need to get 2 tickets to Indianapolis to check out that new exhibit.
And that's all for WEBJ News Variety Edition. You can check out extras or individual packages from the show down below. I'm Ezekiel Telemaco.
And I'm Michael Lagerwell. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.